Hello, hello, and welcome everyone to today's Lunch and Learn. We are so happy to have you here today. Today's Lunch and Learn is sponsored by the Train the Trainer workshop. My name is Claudia Eslava. I am the Director of Operations for De La Mora Institute of Interpretation. So I'm not Eliane, I'm not your presenter today, but I'm here today before Eliane's presentation to tell you about our Train the Trainer program. We're very excited about it. We're very proud of it. The Train the Trainer is sponsoring today's presentation, so yay for that, just like I mentioned. And not to mention that the presentation that you'll be hearing from Eliane is a small snippet of our Train the Trainer program. Now, how many times do you think I can say Train the Trainer in a row before it sounds really weird? I don't know. I'm going to keep saying it. Let's find out together. So let me tell you a little bit about our Train the Trainer program. It is taught by Agustin de la Mora, who is the founder of this institute. He founded it 25 years ago. He will be there teaching the Train the Trainer, and Eliane Sfeir-Markus, who you will get to know today. It is meant to help unlock your training potential. So if you are a certified medical or legal interpreter and you've ever had the thought about teaching, this is your opportunity, right? This is your opportunity to proceed with that path. Or even if you would just like to become a more confident public speaker, you can go ahead and take this program, and this will help you with that as well. The Train the Trainer will help you become licensed to teach a De La Mora interpreter workshop for either legal or medical interpreters. And what you can expect to learn in that program is to harness the power of effective communication, which we love from all of our trainers. You'll be able to captivate your audience from start to finish. And of course, you will learn to teach the De La Mora's core legal interpreter skill building and our core 40-hour medical interpreter course. Classes start this September the 16th. So if you are thinking about it, or if you have seen it, classes will be starting on September the 16th. We'll go ahead and in the chat of today's meeting, I'll place the link to the Train the Trainer workshop, so you can go check it out. If you're really thinking about it, you can go ahead and make your decision now, so you can come and start with us during those sessions. However, if you do need a little bit of time to think about it, if you have more questions, there will be some upcoming sessions starting in early January as well. So please don't hesitate to message us, to ask questions. We will have a little bit of time at the end of today's presentation. In case you do have some questions regarding the Train the Trainer, you can go ahead and send them to us as well. We'll be happy to answer them. All the classes are fully online, so that's an excellent benefit to our Train the Trainer program. You don't have to worry about being anywhere in person. And of course, you can also expect to receive all the lesson plans, all the related materials, and the exercise needed to teach our workshops and more. Because of course, what makes this Train the Trainer different than anything else you might see on the market today is that we actually really care about your skills as a speaker, as a public speaker, as a trainer, as a leader. And that's what you'll see from Eliane's presentation today. And of course, we're happy to teach it because it means that you will be joining the De La Mora family. And what that means is that you will never be alone. You will always have administrative and maybe psychological support from the De La Mora team. We will be here to support you through the rest of your career as a trainer or as an interpreter forever. So those are all the benefits you get from the Train the Trainer. And that's all I wanted to say. That's the Train the Trainer is sponsoring again today's presentation. And if you have any questions about it, please feel free to send us a quick chat. But that is all from me today. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoy today's class and have fun, everyone.
Thank you, Claudia. That was so nice. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well, and I am going to jump in and share my screen with you because I know that most of you maybe are taking your lunch break. This is going to be recorded, and those who registered most probably will be able to get the recording. I am going to be sharing my screen, and voila. Can you see my screen? I hope you can. Okay.
Yes,
So
we can.
wonderful. Thank you, Nicole. My name is Eliane Sfeir-Markus. I am a trainer with De La Mora. I have a BA in translation and interpreting from Beirut, Lebanon. I studied journalism and communication here in the United States. I'm interpreting since 2008. I've been interpreting. I'm a certified medical interpreter. I'm a certified court interpreter in the courts of Pennsylvania and Delaware. I'm a certified team member of Maxwell Leadership. I work with them on the public speaking, training, and coaching tracks. I'm an adjunct professor at Widener Law School. I teach court interpreting and medical and community interpreting. I'm an interpreter expert with Language Services Associates. I'm a trainer for legal and medical interpreting. As I told you, a trainer with De La Mora. I am a member of the National Association of Judiciary Interpreters. I work with them with the membership committee, and I'm a member with ATA, and I work with them on the mentorship committee. I am also a former president of the Delaware Valley Translators Association, DVTA, and we are a chapter of ATA, the American Translators Association. I'm one of the stakeholders of the Code of Ethics. I'm the founder of LTTI Services, LLC. Having said all this, I couldn't have done all what I've done, all this long list, if I haven't been putting goals and putting it in a smart way and achieving those goals to be able to achieve all what I've done in my career. On top of that, of course, I have 2 kids. I am married. I have my 2 elderly parents, but without really setting goals and organizing my calendar, I would not have been able to achieve anything in my life. So what I'm going to be talking to you today is just what goals mean in our life and how do we set it in a successful way. Let's start with just looking at numbers and what the statistics and the studies showed us. The studies showed us that 80% of people, of the general population of people, don't set goals. 80% of us don't set goals. So put in the chat, any of you, have you been putting goals in your life? Or do you feel like you let things happen to you and you are letting things happen in your life? Let's see. How many? Did I lose you already? Your chat? You know where the chat is in Zoom. Okay, let's see. Yes, I said daily goals, small goals. Very good. Okay, that's nice. Thank you, Aldo. Anybody else? I keep an agenda of my daily goals. Very good. So we can also call this more of a to-do list. So today we're going to talk about goals and what I mean by goals. 70% of the 20% who puts goals, so 80% don't put goals, 20% only will put goals. The 70% of this 20% who sets goals don't achieve it. That's a big number, right? Then 50% of the surveyed people in that study that was done by a persuasion action, 50% of surveyed people, when they put a goal, the goals boost their motivation. Then when they studied the whole population and leaders, goal setting automatically leads to 90% improvement in performance. So when companies are doing corporate trainings, when HR is studying why their employer is not, let's say, achieving, the first thing is, do they put a goal? Have they worked on the goal in a smart way or not? And many companies have changed all their, if you want, workers' engagement to putting goals, setting their goals, doing performance reviews, because that's how they can get the most of their employers. I know the majority of us in the interpreting field, we are freelancers. So maybe we don't get a lot of these benefits and a lot of this education. So one of the things that we do once we become better at interpreting and once we become certified, we start improving ourselves. Well, in the Train the Trainer, we expect that our trainers already know how to create this kind of growth to their students. And you would think about your students as you would think about your employers if you want, or as you would think about someone that you really want to tap into their potentials and help them grow. How do we do it? This is how, or one of the ways that we've done it. And not only with Train the Trainer, but with many other scholars and leaders who studied goal setting in the workforce. We should ask few questions. The first question we're going to ask is, what is your goal? Some would put to-do list. That's not a goal. That's a to-do list of things you want to put. Small goals. Small goals are small achievements. They're not really goals. What is your goal? That's what we're going to discuss. The next thing, the next question we're going to ask, why do you have this goal? Why do you have it? Then, is it your goal? Is it really your vision for your life? How will you achieve this goal? And then, am I ready to pay for my goal? That is a very personal question. And that's where I use the first person. Am I really ready to pay for this goal? Let me start tapping right into it. The first tip to know what is your goal is write down your goal. So if I ask you to close your eyes and see what was your dream when you were little, what was it? You wanted to achieve what from your career or from your life? That is the goal. What is your goal? Then you have to have it very clear. So for instance, if my goal is to make money, that's not a goal, that's a result. If my goal is, for instance, to empower people, educate people, work with people to find their potentials, motivate people to find their joy in life and feel happy. That's my personal goal as a coach, and I work with people to achieve that goal. So the first thing I ask you to take 1 minute and think of a dream and write it down. And do you see it clearly? Because that is going to become your goal. Take a minute. You're off the screen. I don't see anybody on camera. So go ahead, make the faces you want. Close your eyes, open your eyes, look at the sky, look at the ceiling on top of you. Daydream. Take that minute for yourself and think about a dream you have that could become your clear goal. In the chat, if you wrote it down, give me a thumb up or done. Aldo is done. Tammy is done. Sarah done. Jessica done. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and keep on going. I hope that you know, or you have a goal that we can talk about more, or you can take it and dissect it, because that's what we're going to do now. Remember, the next question was, first, what is your goal? Now you wrote it down. 2, why do you have this goal? Anybody heard of Simon Sinek? Can you put in the chat or open your mic and tell me if you heard of Simon Sinek? Anyone? The golden circle for Simon Sinek.
I have not, Elaine. This is Aldo, but no, I have not heard of Golden Circle.
Okay. Thank you, Aldo, for being so present. Anybody else still alive, or did I put everybody to sleep? You can say, no, I haven't heard of him. I haven't heard of him. Okay, so I'm going to assume some people cannot open their mic. Okay, no. So Simon Sinek, I'm going to give you a title of his book at the end of the presentation. It's actually the why. I will give it to you at the end of presentation. It's on one of the slides. He talks about the golden circle, and the golden circle for him is as follows. The first one is what? What do you do? We all know what do we do as interpreters, as trainers, as educators, professors. We know what do we do. We teach, we put a lesson plan, we provide education, we provide knowledge, we share knowledge, we share the resources that we have, or we share interpreting, and we bridge communications in between the LEP and the providers, or the LEP and the courtroom. What do? We bridge cultures, or we make sure people can communicate. There's a lot of what we do. How do we do it? We know how to, I hope we all know how do we do it as interpreters or as trainers and educators. I hope that we know how to do it, how to put a presentation together, how we are going to train interpreters. And that is that with the trainer, we're going to give it to you. We're going to explain to you what do we do it and how do we do it, and how do you put together a PowerPoint? How are you going to influence your audience? How are you as a trainer going to educate and reach your audience so that they can follow the code of ethics, understand the standards of the profession, prepare for a certification, be it the medical, or prepare for the court certification? How are they going to build their skills? All this, we're going to give it to you. One thing that's very important is the why. Why do we do it? I'm going to be giving you why, for instance. Why at the La Mora Institute do we do that? Because we believe that if we have very good trainers and with a robust training curriculum, we believe that we're going to have better interpreters and great interpreters. Why is always your belief and your values. If you go to a sales or a car dealer, and the car dealer is doing pure sales with you and not talking to the why, meaning always looking at you as a dollar sign, you're not going to trust that person and you're not going to make a deal with them. The same thing is for our goal. If we don't have a clear goal other than making money, we're not going to really live long in the market. An interpreter who is interpreting for the love of interpreting, for the love of bridging the culture, for the love of maybe, many would say helping, I would say bridging communication or making sure that everybody is being understood and working as a communicator. They're not going to last. Interpreting is difficult. The same thing for training. If you are just doing it because training pays well, you're not going to work a lot in the market, because the market doesn't really work only for money. You have to have a belief. You have to have something that you can tap into and go deeper. And when things are very difficult, you go back to this why and you remind yourself that this is why you are working hard. This is why you chose a difficult field. This is why you are teaching maybe in the evening, or teaching on Saturdays and Sundays, or teaching students who have some conflict with you or who've been having hard time in the class, and you would know how to calm down the class because you're always tapping to your why. If we take many people in our society, like Nelson Mandela, like Martin Luther King, those people have not tapped into the what and how. They didn't influence people by tapping onto the what and the how. They tapped on the why of the people. When Martin Luther King did the I believe or I have a dream, that's why people followed him. There were a lot of people trying to do the civil rights movement, but he saw that justice is important, and that was his why. People trusted his why. This is why people followed him. The same thing with your goals. You trust your why, you're going to follow your goal. Now, you shouldn't have only one why, because one why is weak. So you need more than one why. No, ma'am. Oh, I think that was from the previous question. You need more than one reason. Because if you have one reason, it's very easy when things are very difficult to say, okay, I'm not going to do this goal, I'm changing it. For instance, when you are going to do a diet, if you have only one reason to diet for one event, the moment the event is gone, you're going to go back to eating and gain all the weight. I am proof of that. I've done it in many multiple places, many multiple events in my life. I just had a wedding, finished the wedding, I started eating, I gained already in 1 month all what I've lost preparing for that wedding. You need more than one reason, more than one event, more than one thing that you want to rely on when things are difficult. In the diet, for instance, for your health, for your well-being, for you to be able to go and do your hobbies without huffing and puffing and being short of breath, for you to see your grandchildren, or to be able to, I don't know, climb the mountains of Himalayas. You need more than why, more than one reason that is going to make you work hard for that goal. That's the second question. Remember, what is your dream? Why are you putting that dream? Then, is it your dream? And here I tell you that a goal without a plan is only a wish, just like Antoine de Saint-Exupéry says. So many times we wish things and we think they are our goals. Or other people wish stuff for us and we think they are our goal. For instance, we have a lot of people in my culture, a lot of youth who is now refusing the idea of their parents telling them what to do for a career. I come from the Middle East, from Lebanon. We have a lot of doctors, lawyers, or engineers. These are the three professions that every family has one of them, or a family of doctors become all doctors. That's what expected. That's the role. That's the goal. That's what you're supposed to do in your life. And many generations don't know what they want as a goal. You have to own your goal. Now you put your goal, you know why you're doing it, but you need to also ask a question. Is it your goal? Is it your vision? Is it something you want to do or somebody else wants you to do? Are you doing it for yourself or are you doing it for someone else? This is going to be a very personal question. That's supposed to be your goal. I tell you why. Because once it is your goal, you're not going to be relying on anybody else to do it. You have ownership of it. It is your goal. You hold the keys. You open it whenever you want. You close it whenever you want. So you're not waiting for someone else to push you. You're an adult now. You're not waiting anymore for your parents to tell you, get up and study. You're not waiting for anyone or an employer to tell you, go ahead and fulfill this goal that we talked about in your performance review. It has to be your own goal and you own it. So you don't rely on anybody else to achieve it but you. The next thing is that no blaming. You don't achieve your goal, it's on you. You can't blame other people for not achieving your goal. You can't say life has been too hard. I've been too busy. The universe is working against me. The universe is neutral. Life is always hard. Time is always running. You will never have time. You have the keys. Are you going to open it or not? And then you can't have any excuses if it is yours. You own it. Nobody else. So that's why I asked you, is it your goal that you put on the paper that we first started with? The next question is, how are we going to put the goal? That's one of the best ways of putting a goal. Once you know what your goal, why you're tapping, why do you want that goal, and that's your own goal, we go into the SMART method. SMART is S-M-A-R-T, and each letter stands for a specific way of achieving your goal. S is for specific. Your goal should be specific. What exactly do I want to achieve? M is for measurable. How will I know when it is accomplished? A is for achievable. Do I have the tools to achieve it? I could have a goal of, I want to be a singer. Do you want to listen to me singing? I hope not. If you know your own safety and the safety of your ears, don't listen to me singing. Do I have the tools to be a singer? Sorry, no. Those vocal cords cannot produce any beautiful tunes. So I cannot really be a singer. I would love to be a ballet dancer. Am I svelte enough to do ballet or go on, on my toes? No. If I train myself a lot, maybe yes. But do I have the tools? Have I started from when I was little? No. You might have students who will come and tell you they want to pass and become certified interpreters. Do they have the English proficiency? Do they have the foreign language or the non-English proficiency? If they don't have it, it's not achievable. They don't have the tools. They don't have the language. A monolingual can never become an interpreter. Is it relevant? Does it align with my mission? Is my goal aligned with my values, my principles, with who I am as a person? Is it time bound? What is the deadline to achieve this goal? Because remember, a goal that does not have a plan, it's a wish, it's a dream, it's up in the cloud. It's very beautiful thing to just talk about it and dream about it. But a goal has to have a beginning of the plan until the end of the plan, and I achieved my goal. That's a smart goal. And that's how you're supposed to put it on your life and your career if you want to be your goals to be a career. The next and the last slide for today is, am I ready to pay for my goal? And that is a very personal question. You know your own schedule, you know your own calendar, and you know when you can commit and when you cannot commit. A goal needs discipline and commitment. Don't set yourself for failure. If you know, God forbids, you're going through a divorce, or somebody in your family is very sick and you need to take care of them, or if you feel that now at this stage in your life you have little kids, newborns, or you have, I don't know, you're putting your kids in college and there is no time for you to work on your goal, then you're not ready to pay your goal, to pay for your goal now. Then this goal needs to be written on a paper, put a plan to do it, and put it on hold until you are able to achieve it. However, you need to learn also and know that many times when we put something on hold, just because we think we don't have time, it's also sometimes and many times procrastination because we are scared. And fear could work a lot on our goal setting. All what I talked about today and all what we put as, and how I put my presentation today was based on 2 and other studies, but remember to be flexible. 2 books that I like a lot. One book is by Simon Sinek, Start with Why. And the other book by John Maxwell, Put Your Dream to the Test. 10 questions to see if your dream, 10 questions to help you see it and seize it. And with that, I open the floor for questions. If you have any questions, if you like to ask us about Train the Trainer, if you like to ask us about the Lamora Institute, and these are articles that helped in my research with goal settings. Any questions? Go ahead, open the mic.
Hi, Elaine. This is Aldo. Once again, thank you so much for the presentation. I am having some difficulties with the camera, but I just wanted to just thank you. And I do have a question regarding I would say like shorter goal setting. I read several books and I came to a conclusion that every author is based, they have different techniques based on their experiences. In my case, I'm actually in the process of currently studying to take the written core exam to get
Yes.
certified.
Mhm.
And I guess since it's various components, what would you recommend, I guess, on a daily basis? Since I already have my goal, I already know the date when I'm gonna take it and what am I
Yes.
doing? What do you recommend on a daily basis that could be more effective in this scenario?
Something that is practical is just like you put your goal as to pass the test and the written test, you're going to use the SMART goal that I shared with you. The SMART specific is exactly you're going to know what are you going to work on. You're going to work, let's say, specific on your code of ethics and learning the code of ethics. How do you measure it? Are you going to memorize it? Are you going to discuss it? You need to know how to measure your knowledge and how much have you acquired of that knowledge. Then you're going to do you have the tools to achieve it? Most probably. Do you have the time to sit down and study? Do you have the time do you have all the materials that you need have you collected it? Then does it align with your mission? Yes, if your goal is if you're sitting and studying that, it is what's going to help you to achieve your goal in passing the written test. And what is your deadline? Your deadline could not be the test or the date of the test, because we know as educator the day of the test is not you should be learning ahead of time. So you're going to set the first goal to study this much, then test it, and then put maybe another deadline and another goal. Maybe you're very good with the legal jargon in your language. Are you okay with the legal jargon in English? And have you tested it? You need to dissect the written test and start putting goals to achieve it.
Okay, got it. Thank you. I guess I'm already putting into practice some of the components, but I'll adjust the
But you
rest.
always need to think about your why. Why are you taking this test? Because taking the test is very frustrating, and you need to be motivated. So I would suggest put your name, Aldo Renteria, certified court interpreter, in front of you. That is going to give you motivation every time you're sitting to study. And sitting to study is just going like going to the gym. Nobody wants to do it, but you all have to do it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to create your why to sit down and achieve your goal.
Fantastic. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
You're
Appreciate it.
welcome. You're welcome. Anybody else? Any other questions? Ladies and gentlemen, it is your time. You're welcome, Tammy. Okay. I'm going to, Claudia, do we have anything else we would like to share? I think Claudia.
I think we're good since everybody seems to be okay. Then that's all from us here today. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending. We really appreciate your presence here. If you have questions, just send us an email at info@delamorainstitute.com. We'll be happy to answer. And we really hope you were able to enjoy today's lunch and learn. We hope to do more in the future, so keep an eye out for that too.
Okay. Ciao, ciao, everyone. You're welcome, Sarah. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.